Hey everybody, good morning and welcome to my live. You know I'm doing a lot more of these and I'm trying to keep it consistent and informative and helpful. Mestre Sukuri here in Tokyo, Japan. Today's video, I already did it in Japanese and I already did it in English. In Portuguese. So now I'm gonna go over the information in English. Before I say that, I want to say thank you to the 2 new people who just joined Patreon last night. I know there's Patreons out there that have like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, but I'm really happy right now. I'll take a quick look. Our Patreon community is growing and we are at officially 20 people. That's 20 more people than I expected. But thank you guys, and a new person that joined last night. So tonight, I will be doing 50 AUs, 50 cartwheels during today's class for those 2 people and make a little video just for fun. Guys, I really appreciate the support. It really helps in producing things and doing what I do, okay? Now, what I'm gonna talk today about has a little to do with that, but a different thing. So, today, 9 a.m., about 2 hours ago, Capoeira University launched. It's my dream project, and it's about what I feel a professional capoeira teacher or person to become a capoeirista needs to know. And in in history, culture, philosophy, music, and the different things. Right now, it's a 2-year plan course of 8-week classes. 8 big classes, and I'll do it 10 months this year and 10 months next year. Why? Because over the Christmas holidays and stuff, it gets too busy to be doing stuff. But we'll see. I'm having a lot of fun. I might actually do more. And as more support comes in, it makes it a lot easier. So now today what I was talking about is I've been getting a couple of emails one was from a friend in England, a capoeira student, not of mine, and another one was from another person in Japan. And they're really interested to start teaching capoeira after things start to open up again. In England, obviously a lot faster than here in Japan, but we're getting there. There's an end in sight to this lockdown, to this situation. So what I want to say is, as we're moving forward, we're going to need to be understanding what we need to do. So I'm going to use an example of a really good friend of mine that I love. She's like a big sister to me. She was a yoga pioneer here in Japan. She has a very successful yoga school. And she always called it a life plan, and I call it a business plan. And what do I mean by this? A lot of people approach me and say, oh, I want to be like you and live my life from capoeira, or I want to live my life teaching dance, or I want to live my life, I want to open my own English school. And a lot of times this never happens. And the reason that these things don't happen is because people don't think about organization to fulfill your dreams. I'm not talking about, the secret to success. I'm talking about common sense, okay? What I'm going to share with you guys is how I do it, how I've advised people to do, and what I think generally works as a professional person. So, I believe there are 4 main things we need to keep in mind in order to progress, right? I use the example of like when you don't have a business plan or a life plan or a plan to what you're going to do in life, or like to teach capoeira, to start teaching capoeira, you're the boat, and this is the ocean, and the ocean sometimes goes this way towards your goal, but sometimes it goes this way, and you got to go with the flow of the ocean. Going with the flow of the ocean, waiting for people to give you opportunities, will never help you realize your dreams. You have to go after your dreams. You have to chase after everything you have. Yes, it takes a lot of self-discipline and a lot of determination, but anyone can do it. I'm not something special. I just did it. Okay. Now, if we're going to think about a very simple way on how to create a life plan or a business plan for myself or for yourself, we need to define, I think, 4 main points, right? The first one is, if you think about it, I wish I had something that I can, let's use this. Let's use this in my glass case, okay? This is me. This is my success. When I open up my glass case, I know what's inside. For example, if my goal is to teach capoeira as a part-time, as people like to call it, a side hustle, then I need to decide how much of a side hustle I want. For example, if I want to say, okay, I'd like to at least cover my house rent every month from capoeira. Okay. I'd like to bring my Mestre or Mestra and have a nice batizado every year. Okay. I'd like my students to have nice capoeira pants, calças. And I'd like to be able to travel a little bit from the money of capoeira. Okay, excellent. That's your say. What does it cost? Put all those cost papers. Okay, my rent for 1 year is here. My rent, my cost to bring my Mestre, here. This is your success. You've defined your success. Now, after that, you need to create your objectives clearly. For example, to pay my rent, I need to teach this many classes a week with this many students, and the cost will be this. So you start having objectives. It's a little different than success. Success is your dream goal written down. Realistically. I don't think it's realistic to say, oh, I'm going to start teaching capoeira after 6 months of doing capoeira, and in 6 months I'll have 20 capoeira schools under me around the world. That's not realistic. But you can't say, I just started capoeira, I love it, and in a year down the road, 2 years down the road, I want to be prepared to help, to teach, to do what I want to do. Each group has different rules and regulations, so I'm not going to get involved with that. What I'm going to say is realistically, you getting your life together to do this, to be prepared. So now we have our success defined, our objectives defined. The next thing to do is to create that roadmap to how to get to those objectives so that you can realize your success, right? So for example, now you're actively saying, okay, let's say you work as a, I don't know, I want to say something pretty standard. Let's say you work as I can't even think what's the most standard job anymore. In Japan, let's say you work in a company, okay, just in a regular company here in Japan. And your work week is from this time to this time. Fine. So you need to decide, okay, if I have to do this here, I only have these times available. So you set your goals for those times where you can teach. You can't say, I'm going to teach, on the other side of Tokyo, if it's going to take you an hour to get there, an hour to get back, 2 hours to be at the class. So that's 4 hours. You say that's too much. So you start to find places that are closer to you, okay? We need to find places that are closer to you. Then you start to develop, okay, the realistic steps and milestones in your plan. So first I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do this, and this will lead me to my objectives, which will lead me to my success. Okay? That's the third thing. The fourth thing is something I think we really need to focus on, and that's the main of this conversation. You need to focus on number 4, which is be prepared. You need to be prepared. If you're thinking, let's say you've been doing capoeira for 5 years, but you've never taught a class. You've never done anything in capoeira besides be a client. But now, boom, you had an epiphany. I want to be a capoeira teacher. I want to do this. I love it. Post-pandemic, I'm going to hit the ground running. I'm going to be the best I can be. I'm going to be the best capoeirista and do the best for my students. Fantastic. But are you ready? Are you ready to do that? If you've never taught a class, It's like jumping into the water, into the deep end of the pool, and you don't know how to swim, thinking you do. You need to spend time. I'm not saying 1 month, 10 months, 10 years. I'm saying you need to get ready as best as you can before you start. It doesn't matter if you're a black belt in jiu-jitsu. If you don't have a concept of how to teach and how to organize, you will fail. The biggest thing I've seen in capoeira, in yoga, in jiu-jitsu, in hip-hop, in anything, over 20 years here in Japan, people fail because they lack organization and preparedness to teach. You can be the best hip-hop dancer in the world, but if you don't know how to teach, if you don't have leadership skills or understanding of what leadership is, you need to develop those skills. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube. I hope that the videos I'm doing here are helping. That's the whole reason I created Capoeira University, to help people. There's a lot of things out there on YouTube that talk about leadership, how to teach, how to lead a class. There's so many things on organization that probably what I'm saying is just repeating what other people have said. But I'm saying this as a Mestre of Capoeira who lives from Capoeira for the last 20 years. Yes, it was difficult. And that's why I'm making these videos, so you guys don't have to have the same difficulties I had. As a human being, I'm trying to impart what little experience I can so you guys don't make the same mistakes. 1, define your goal. 2, clear objectives. 3, roadmap. And 4, get ready. Be prepared. Guys, I hope that when this pandemic is over and we start to travel, I get to be with you playing capoeira. I hope it's somewhere. I've already got a capoeira date planned with a friend of mine. We've never met. Mestre Galego, I just want to send a big abraço for you. And I hope one day that we can have a capoeira date somewhere, jingaing together, maybe some here in Japan or there in America. But we're growing relationships. We're getting prepared. All of us need to be focused, and don't waste time, and don't waste time with unproductive stuff. Remember, capoeira is about freedom. É a liberdade. It's freedom. You're not obligated to anyone, but nobody's obligated to you. The number one rule of capoeira, you're responsible for everything in capoeira for you. There's no such thing as bullying. There's no such thing as oh, they're a higher belt than me. Guys, those are excuses. I don't deal with that. I've suffered everything in capoeira you guys can imagine times 10. But I never made an excuse for myself. Oh, I don't know that. Oh, my master didn't teach me that. My master didn't show me that. Oh, it's different in my group. Guys, roda is roda. I always tell people that the reason I feel that I get a lot, why do I feel there's a lack of capoeira culture in Japan? In Japan, it is not so easy to do a street roda. We can't just go somewhere and create rodas like Central Park or other things that I've seen around the world. And that makes it very difficult for us to have that base part of capoeira, which is open roda. You know, that roda aberta. I really feel in 20 years, that's what we're missing. I started the first open rodas in Tokyo over 20 years ago, like in front of Shibuya. A lot of people have seen Shibuya Crossing. 20 years ago, 21 years ago, I was the one who started open rodas. They used to close that to traffic, and I used to do rodas there. The culture of open roda is something that I'm going to be working on a lot post-pandemic. I'm going to start opening a lot more rodas, and I welcome everybody who's in Tokyo to come. People from outside of Tokyo. I hope to do a monthly roda because it's important that we have a chance. Here, sound is a very big problem. You can't do a roda anywhere, especially in Tokyo. So you need special permission, this and that. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably end up renting like a community space, and I'll invite people. And I hope to share the beauty of capoeira as best I can. I welcome everybody. I welcome everybody to do something amazing post-pandemic. Define your success, set your objectives, make your map, be prepared. Guys, have a fantastic day. A lot of love, a lot of ashe, and a lot of capoeira.